Imagine this. It's a crisp November morning in 1970, and you're a young hiker named Bjørn Rød, trudging through the skeletal hush of Norway's Isdalen Valley. The air bites like regret, the kind that lingers after a choice you can't take back. You've wandered off the path, drawn by an inexplicable pull, maybe the crunch of frost underfoot, or the way the wind carries secrets from the fjords. Then you see it. Not a rock, not a fallen branch, but her. A woman's body, twisted unnaturally against the cold earth, her skin blackened and blistered as if kissed by hellfire itself. No screams echo here. The valley swallows sound whole. Who was she? Why did she come to this godforsaken place to die? And in her final moments, as the pills dissolved her into oblivion, did she whisper a name no one would ever hear? This is the story of the Isdal Woman, a ghost who lived 9 lives and left us chasing shadows. Buckle up, because what starts as a suicide unravels into a web of espionage, betrayal, and a truth so elusive it might just keep you up tonight. Welcome to the chill that never thaws. The scream that shattered the silence of Isdalen wasn't hers, it was Bjørn's. On November 29th, 1970, the 25-year-old student froze mid-stride, his breath clouding the air like a plea for mercy. There, slumped against a rocky outcrop in the Death Valley of Bergen, locals avoided it for its eerie reputation, was a woman in her 30s or 40s, her body contorted in agony. Charred clothing clung to her like accusations, but strangest of all, no fire, no embers, no scorch marks on the surrounding heather. It was as if the flames had consumed only her, leaving the valley untouched, mocking the investigators who would soon arrive. Police swarmed the scene under a leaden sky, their boots crunching evidence into oblivion. The autopsy painted a portrait of quiet desperation. 50 seconal sleeping pills, 10 times a lethal dose, churned her stomach, mixed with a belly full of undigested food. She'd eaten just hours before, perhaps a last defiant meal. But the burns? 2nd degree on her back and legs, inflicted after death, as if someone, or something, wanted to erase her from existence. Her hands clutched tufts of grass, nails broken from a frantic crawl. Suicide? The pills suggested it. But who drags themselves to a remote ravine to die alone, only to be torched like yesterday's secrets? Whispers rippled through Bergen. Was it the mafia, a lover's quarrel, or something colder, tied to the Iron Curtain's chill grip on Europe? As forensics combed the site, one detail gnawed at them. A single orange plastic bottle, empty, rolling like a taunt in the wind. Inside her coat, no wallet, no ID. Just a bus ticket stub from the city center dated that very day. She'd chosen this spot deliberately. They realized. But why? And who was the shadow watching from the tree-line, gone before the first siren wailed? The valley held its breath, and so did Norway. The hunt had just begun, but already the ice whispered, she doesn't want to be found. Back in Bergen, the puzzle pieces didn't fit. They slithered. Detectives traced the bus ticket to a left luggage locker at the train station, where 2 brown suitcases waited like Pandora's traps. Unzipped under fluorescent lights, they spilled a Pandora's trove, 8 pairs of sunglasses, all different prescriptions. Wigs in brunette, blonde, red synthetic strands screaming disguise. Makeup kits heavy enough for a theater troupe, and clothing labels meticulously snipped, replaced with handwritten numbers as if cataloging identities for a heist. Currencies from 5 countries fluttered out. Norwegian kroner, Belgian francs, US dollars, cold cash for a woman on the run. But the real daggers? 2 notebooks, their pages etched with codes that twisted like veins. Numbers and grids, letters and ciphers. Some speculated military encryption, others dismissed as a madwoman's doodles. One entry, Tuesday wet, W, plus 5W, 20. Sat S, March 8th, K plus 5K, 20. What did it mean? A rendezvous? A kill order? And then the passports. Not one, but scraps leading to 9 aliases. Genevieve Lancer, a French teacher from Paris, Claudia Nielsen, a Belgian antique dealer, Fenella Lorch, a Dutch secretary. Each checked into Bergen's Hotel Rosenkrantz under a different name, paying cash, vanishing before checkout. Hotel staff remembered her vaguely, a striking woman with high cheekbones, dark hair, and eyes that darted like prey. She spoke French, German, English, Dutch, flawless, accented only by paranoia. Interviews painted a ghost, seen arguing with two men in dark coats outside the Neptune restaurant days before. Spotted burning papers in her hotel sink, the acrid smoke seeping under doors. One maid swore she overheard a frantic call. "They know. I have to go." But go where? The codes hinted at a trail, Oslo, Stavanger, even Brussels, but each lead looped back to dead ends. As detectives pored over the suitcases, a chill settled. This wasn't a drifter. This was a chameleon, shedding skins to survive. And if she was hiding from someone, were they still out there, listening? The room grew colder. What if the next knock wasn't the maids? The investigation exploded across borders, a frantic relay in the pre-digital age. Norwegian police fanned out to hotels, flashing composites of her face, reconstructed from dental records showing expensive porcelain work, hinting at Eastern European roots. In Oslo, a chambermaid at the Victoria Hotel recalled Lorch. She arrived by train, booked under Fenella, but paid with Belgian francs. Her room? Immaculate, save for a singed wastebasket and a half-eaten herring dinner. She paced like a caged wolf, the maid said, voice trembling, muttered about the organization closing in. Stavanger yielded more. Under Nielsen, she dined alone at the Grand Hotel, sketching furiously in a notebook. Those same cryptic grids. A waiter noticed her flinch at every door swing, her fork hovering mid-air. From there, ferries to Denmark, flights to Paris. Interpol lit up. In Luxembourg, Genevieve Lancier rented a Fiat, abandoned it with the tank dry and maps marked in code. Brussels pharmacies confirmed bulk secondal purchases, enough for an army of insomniacs. But each alias circled back to Norway like a noose tightening. Then, the witnesses. A fisherman in Flam swore he saw her with a tall man, suited, foreign, perhaps East German, with a scarred cheek. They argued on the dock, her voice rising. "You promised extraction." He vanished into the mist. In Bergen, a street vendor peddled her a newspaper. She bought it with trembling hands, eyes scanning headlines about Cold War defections. Was she a defector? A courier? The trail snaked to embassies, Soviet whispers in Oslo, NATO shadows in Brussels. One lead tantalized. A Belgian dentist matched her teeth to a missing file on a woman named Lise, but the file? Shredded in a 1968 purge. As planes crossed the North Sea, suspense coiled tighter. Every hotel register was a potential trapdoor. What if the next clerk remembered not just her face, but the gun in her purse? Detectives raced the clock, but the woman was always one step ahead, until she wasn't. The valley called her back. What? The answer lurked in the codes, just beyond reach, pulling you deeper into the fog. Norway in 1970 simmered with Cold War frostbite. NATO's northern flank, Bergen buzzed with U.S. submarines docking, Soviet subs lurking in fjords. The Isdal Woman wasn't just dead, she was a geopolitical grenade. Her multilingual fluency? Spy school polish. The wigs and codes? KGB Tradecraft 101. Theories ignited like dry tinder. Was she a Stasi agent, burned by her handlers? A CIA asset, silenced for knowing too much? Or a double agent, caught in the crossfire of betrayal? Dive into the darkness. Those notebooks? Cryptographers cracked fragments, references to L-13, a NATO listening post near Stavanger. Her routes mirrored defector paths from East Germany. And the men in coats? Eyewitnesses pegged them as Bulgarian KGB allies, notorious for wet work. One theory gripped hearts. She was a Jewish woman from Eastern Europe, fleeing post-war ghosts, smuggling microfilm in her hollowed heels. But the pills? A forced suicide, they say, captors watching as she swallowed, then the match to the gasoline-soaked corpse. Recent cracks in the ice fuel the fire. 2019 DNA tests. Mitochondrial markers point to the Benelux region, perhaps French-Belgian. Isotopes in her hair traveled from Germany south. Then 2023 bombshell. A Swiss banker linked to Nazi gold and arms deals surfaces in files. Did he fund her ops? Or silence her? Podcast dissected. Reddit threads spiral into conspiracies. But here's the gut punch. Her teeth, gold fillings from Soviet-era clinics, scream defector. Imagine her terror, crossing borders, aliases fraying the organization's noose. Did she beg for asylum in that final call, only to hear laughter? The shadows lengthen. If she was a pawn in the great game, who's still playing? And are you safe turning out the lights? Theories bloom like bruises in the Isdal saga, each more venomous than the last. Suicide? The official line. Pills and isolation scream despair. But the post-mortem burns? Staged to destroy evidence, say skeptics. Murder most foul? Lovers? A scorned husband tracing her aliases? Or the mob? Her currencies hint at smuggling rings. The fringe whispers aliens, cults, even a cursed valley spirit. But the core chills deepest, espionage gone lethal. Picture her end, not alone, but cornered. Handlers force the pills. She fights, clawing earth as darkness claims her. Then flames, erasing prints, DNA precursors. Why not identities? Layers of protection, each a lie building to truth. The codes? A dead drop list, unfinished. Names redacted, meetings aborted. Modern forensics tease. 2024 AI on the notebooks yields Oslo contact. A ghost lead to a dead operative. Yet closure slips away. Families search missing persons files. A Belgian woman claims her sister, but DNA disagrees. The valley reclaims her ashes, scattered nameless. Was she fleeing abuse, a trafficker's doll, or a hero? Silence for secrets that could topple regimes? Each theory hooks you tighter. What if you're next, piecing her puzzle? The dark doesn't end, it waits. 55 years on, the Isdal Woman haunts us, not as bones, but as a mirror to our hidden selves, who erases their name, but leaves clues screaming for discovery. Her story isn't just unsolved, it's a siren call, pulling us into the what-ifs. Did she choose the valley for its silence, or its screams? As Bergen winters howl, one truth endures. Some mysteries aren't meant to thaw. If this gripped you, hit like, subscribe, drop your theory below. Who is she? Share the chill. Until next time, watch the shadows. They whisper back.
Like and subscribe.